Hello and welcome back. This is our 8th video covering the best Tales from the Crypt episodes as chosen by you guys. So I recently posted on Twitter that I'm trying to get in touch with Papa Meat, you know, Hunter Hancock, mostly known for his Meat Canyon cartoons here on YouTube, and of course the Creepcast podcast that he co-hosts with Wendigoon. Now, I genuinely think Hunter and his crew's work with set dressing and puppetry is a masterclass in both creativity and believability. Like, if you didn't already know, the entire house from Hunter's videos, yeah, that's not a real house. It's a film set, built entirely for his productions. Which is why I really wanted to talk to him about creating a show kind of like Tales from the Crypt, but, you know, exclusively for YouTube. The idea is each episode would be written and acted by fellow YouTubers. I have some solid ideas, but let's be real, I'm a very small fish in a very, very big pond, so I'm just hoping to get his attention. Maybe talk it over, or at the very least, so he can tell me to go to hell. Anyway, now that we're all caught up on the bits and pieces of my hopes and dreams of maybe one day creating something awesome with talented creators, let's get on to the video, shall we? Our first segment, titled The Reluctant Vampire, from Season 3, Episode 7, originally airing July 10th, 1991. Our story starts off with Donald Longtooth. Yes, you heard that name right. Longtooth is portrayed by Malcolm McDowell, a vampire who, unlike his more predatory kin, harbors a conscience, and that prevents him from harming innocent people. To sate his need for blood without resorting to violence, Donald Longtooth secures a job as a night watcher at a local blood bank. This position allows him to discreetly access the blood supply to satiate his cravings. At the blood bank, Donald works alongside Sally, portrayed by Sandra Dickinson, whom he harbors romantic feelings. However, his vampiric nature makes him hesitant to pursue a relationship, fearing the potential dangers he could pose to her. The blood bank faces a crisis as its owner, Mr. Crosswhite, played by George Wendt, announces that due to dwindling blood supplies, staff layoffs are imminent.
I'll get to the bottom of it.
Well, it's interesting that you put it that way, Sally, because I'd like to keep you on here. See, I like you, Sally, a lot. And perhaps we could get to the bottom of that,
Mr. Crosswhite.
Leave her alone.
Sir?
Nice try, hero. But before you go sticking your nose in anywhere, remember, you're just a night watchman.
Unknowns to the staff, the shortage is partly due to Donald's secret consumption. Determined to prevent the layoffs and protect Sally's job, Donald decides to take action.
I've got to do something to solve this problem, even if I hate myself in the morning.
Embracing his vampiric abilities, Donald embarks on nocturnal hunts, targeting criminals and other unsavory individuals. He drains their blood and discreetly replenishes the blood bank's reservations. This initiative not only stabilizes the blood supply, but also brings him a sense of purpose, as he eliminates wrongdoers from society. Meanwhile, a series of exsanguinated bodies draws the attention of Detective Robinson, portrayed by Paul Gleason, and a self-proclaimed vampire hunter named Rupert Van Helsing, played by Michael Berryman.
Who the hell are you?
Rupert Van Helsing.
What do you want, Rupert?
I want to help you, Lieutenant. Though at first you're not going to believe anything I tell you. You're going to think I'm strange, bizarre. But in 3 to 4 days, when the city is awash in blood, you're going to beg me for my help.
Van Helsing is convinced that a vampire is responsible for the deaths and teams up with the skeptical detective to track down the culprit. As the blood bank's fortunes improve, Mr. Crosswhite becomes suspicious of Donald's sudden effectiveness. He confronts Donald, revealing that he has deduced his true nature as a vampire. Crosswhite attempts to blackmail Donald by demanding that he continues his nocturnal hunts in order to keep the blood supply abundant.
Oh, a lot more. Your freelance neck-nipping paid off in spades. We were never in danger of going bankrupt. That was just a ruse. I wanted to see just how productive you could be if you had to, and you did not disappoint me. I've got plans for you, Longtooth. Big plans.
In a climactic confrontation, Van Helsing and Detective Robinson arrive, mistaking Mr. Crosswhite for the vampire due to a series of misunderstandings. Van Helsing stakes him, inadvertently solving Donald's blackmail problem.
Know his methods. Then
you doing? Where am I? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute! This man's alive! What the hell did you do?
It had to be done, Lieutenant. It had to be done.
With the immediate threats eliminated, Donald confesses his feelings to Sally.
It's so horrible.
Yes.
And so exciting. Can I ask you a favor, Mr. Longtooth?
Please, call me Donald.
Donald, would you consider... What I mean is... Could you... I've always wanted to be a creature of the darkness.
In a twist ending characteristic of the series, Sally reveals a hidden desire for the dark and mysterious. Embracing their mutual attraction, Donald bites Sally, transforming her into a vampire, allowing them to be together for eternity.
Have you had dental surgery in the last 72 hours?
This is so sexy.
The Reluctant Vampire is adapted from The Vault of Horror 20, a comic series published by EC Comics in the 1950s. The episode is noted for its comedic approach, blending horror elements with humor. Malcolm McDowell's portrayal of Donald Longtooth adds depth, which makes him a sympathetic figure despite his vampiric nature. George Wendt, famous for his role in Cheers, portrays the unscrupuled Mr. Crosswhite, adding a familiar face to the cast. The Reluctant Vampire uniquely stands out in the Tales from the Crypt series with its distinctive blend of humor and horror, offering a refreshing take on classic vampire narratives. Our second segment centers on two brothers, Martin and Carl Fairbanks, both of whom are doctors. In a black and white flashback, we see a youthful Martin, portrayed by Beau Bridges, helping his brother Carl, depicted by Tony Goldwyn in a morgue. Carl, known for his mischievous tendencies, orchestrates a prank by faking a revival of a cadaver. The prank frightens Martin and results in him suffering a heart attack, derailing his aspiration to become a surgeon and leaving him with a deep-seated resentment towards Carl. Years later, the narrative shifts to the present, now in color, where Carl has become a successful surgeon, while Martin, now relegated to conducting research in a laboratory, is financially supported by Carl.
We made a deal. Either you showed me results or I cut off your funding. You showed me nothing, so I said, fine. I'll get you a teaching position. You can waste your own money for a change.
It's a shame, Carl. I don't get a chance to see you anymore. Only your money.
I'm warning you, Martin. Take the job, or I cut you off completely.
Martin's project concentrates on the notion of lingering brain activity after death, something Carl deems fruitless. Eager for revenge for the prank that sabotaged his profession, Martin concocts an intricate scheme. He entices Carl to his lab ostensibly to present a discovery. By offering Carl a doctored drink containing a paralytic agent, Martin induces a state in Carl that simulate death, leaving him fully conscious yet completely immobile and unable to communicate.
Watching you like this really brings back memories. You remember that night, don't you? I do. I was one hell of a surgeon until your little joke cost me a career. Surgeon needs two good hands. Permanent hemipariasis. The only birthday gift you ever gave me.
What have you done to me?
Oh. Well, I've killed you, haven't I? Well, not officially yet. I mean, you're still alive, aren't you? I'm surprised you didn't taste it. I thought the Bavarian hydrochloride would have clashed with the Scotch. It's too bad that you can't report back what you see, what you feel. You've always been so helpful in my research. Oh, don't worry. Let me just unbutton your sleeve. Take it easy now. Don't make this difficult. Now, if I don't give you this, you might find traces of poison in your system. We couldn't have that, could we? Say goodnight, Gracie.
Oh.
How's it feel being dead?
I'm not dead. I feel like shit, but I'm not dead.
As Carl lies paralyzed, Martin elucidates his belief that cognitive function can persist beyond death, and that he has devised a serum to corroborate it. To illustrate, Martin begins a mock autopsy on Carl, describing every incision in detail, amplifying Carl's terror. The scenario takes a bizarre turn when Carl's body is moved to the morgue, where an attendant named Mitch, portrayed by Tom Wright, readies him for preservation, and Mitch, cognizant of Martin's design, indulges in it, exacerbating Carl's psychological suffering.
Pins and needles. The numbness isn't settling in, it's wearing off.
The epidural saw. Cuts both skin and bone.
Right.
You can't imagine what a terrible mess the old striker saws used to make.
No! No, wait!
Miss Johnson, would you please peel back the skin while I cut?
Martin! Don't! Oh, God! I'm being peeled! They're tearing my skull apart! No, Marty, wait! I'm alive! I can feel my fingers and my toes! I'm alive! My hand! Look at my hand!
I guess our subject was a little hard-headed.
Marty, stop before it's too late. Marty, please. I can feel it. Stop, Marty, stop. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Welcome back to the world of the living, little brother.
In a dramatic twist of events, it is revealed that Martin's actions were part of an elaborate prank meant to mirror the one Carl executed years ago. However, the shock is too intense for Carl, causing him to experience a real, fatal heart attack. Attempting to revive him, Martin injects him with the serum to prevent brain death. In a tragic finale, Martin's efforts to revive Carl using the serum fail, leaving Carl truly deceased. This indicates that the events of the prank will occur once more, but this time with a grim twist. The episode concludes with Carl mentally wailing as his authentic autopsy commences.
Well, it was an accident. He was working with this experimental drug. He didn't have any idea it would actually cause a heart attack.
Shame. Damn shame. Hey, hand me that epidermal saw, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Here it is at last. My autopsy. God damn you, Marty. You are absolutely right. Except about one thing. The sense of touch. It isn't the first thing to go, it's the last.
Abra Cadaver is adapted from the tale Dead Right from Tales from the Crypt, issue number 37, although the title was adjusted to avoid ambiguity with another episode. The same episode in which Demi Moore starred in, which we previously recapped in our last video. Fun fact, both Demi Moore and Tony Goldwyn appeared in the film Ghost together. Demi's episode came before their collaboration in the movie, whereas Goldwyn's Tales from the Crypt episode was after. Interestingly, in both productions, Goldwyn plays a character named Carl. The title is a clever blend of the magician's phrase, Abra Cadaver, and the word cadaver, mirroring the episode's themes of illusion and death. Beau Bridges gives an impressive performance as Martin, portraying the character's descent into obsession and revenge effectively. As for Tony Goldwyn, his portrayal of Carl combines charisma and arrogance, making his eventual downfall the more impactful. Abra Cadaver distinguishes itself in the Tales from the Crypt series through its psychological horror and insightful exploration of the consequences of unchecked ambition, culminating in an ending rich with irony. The viewer initially perceives the first twist as a revelation that the entire episode is a prank, but the audience is then confronted by a second twist as the events unfold in a horrifyingly genuine manner. In our concluding segment titled Undertaking Parlor, the episode is from Season 3, Episode 9, initially airing on July 24th, 1991. Four teenagers, Josh, portrayed by Jonathan Kikikwan, Aaron, played by Aaron Eisenberg, Norm, portrayed by Scott Foltz, and Jess, played by Jason Marsden, share a shared love for horror films and dream of creating their own productions. Seeking genuine inspiration, they opt to explore the local funeral home, Esbrook Mortuary, with the intention of capturing a real corpse on film. Under the veil of night, the boys covertly infiltrate the mortuary's basement. The adventure takes a sinister turn as they eavesdrop on a dialogue between the mortician, Sebastian Esbrook, John Glover, and the town's pharmacist, Mr. Grundy. The boys uncover the duo's sinister scheme. Mr. Grundy provides tainted medications to unknowing patients, which results in their deaths, following which Esbrook profits from the ensuing funeral services.
Well, what the hell is this? $500?
It's a $1,500 funeral. She's just a goddamn librarian, for Christ's sake. After expenses, I'll be lucky if I make half what you're making.
Expenses? Don't give me that. You're gonna stick her in a pressed oatmeal coffin.
You want to make more money on this? Next time you doctor a prescription, why don't you pick somebody that can afford a deluxe funeral?
As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I did. I just sent some asthma medication to a guy who can definitely afford your top-of-the-line accommodations.
Really?
I had a feeling that would put a smile on your face.
The situation takes a personal turn when Aaron's father falls victim to the plot, dying from poisoned asthma medication.
My dad died last night.
What? How did it happen?
He had an asthma attack.
Asthma? Did he take medicine?
Yeah. Why? What is it?
Resolute in bringing the villains to justice, the boys devise a scheme to gather conclusive evidence. They break into the mortuary once more, this time equipped with a video camera, with the intention to capture incontrovertible proof of the duo's unlawful acts.
Well. Have you found anything yet? What?
During their stealthy mission, the boys bear witness to a confrontation between Esbrook and Grundy. Grundy, having exposed that Esbrook has been shortchanging him on the profits, threatens to report him to the authorities. Esbrook, to silence him, murders Grundy.
Nate, you're overreacting. It's that fat kid. He faked all this just to set us against each other. Look, I've got proof right here.
The boys' presence is eventually detected, resulting in a tense confrontation with Esbrook. During the struggle, they triumphantly turn the mortician's embalming apparatus against him, ultimately leading to his demise.
You think I'm kidding? All right. 1, 2.
Hey, look! She's smiling.
Having successfully exposed the murderous scheme and avenged Aaron's father, the boys bring justice to their community. The episode culminates with the Crypt Keeper delivering his signature, pun-laden commentary, tying the story together with a combination of humor and horror. Undertakers Parlor is derived from Tales from the Crypt 39, a comic book released by EC Comics in the 1950s. The episode blends elements of youthful adventure with dark horror, evoking the feel of films like The Goonies but with a more sinister tone. Jonathan Key-Kwan, the actor known for his roles in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and The Goonies, portrays the character of Josh. John Glover delivers a remarkable performance as the vindictive mortician Sebastian Esbrook. Undertaking Parlor stands as a remarkable episode within the Tales from the Crypt series for its singular combination of young adventures and macabre storytelling, bringing a fresh and innovative approach to the horror anthology genre.
Ah, well, poor Sebastian. A brilliant career going down the drain. As for the kiddies, Josh gave up on making movies. Seemed he didn't have the guts. And the others, they became lawyers. Must have been the taste of blood. After all, they were certain they'd gotten themselves a killer. I mean, who wears shoes like these except a killer? So until next time, see you later, alligator!
I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.